Hey guys, it's Will. It's Hong Kong Cinema Appreciation Society. Welcome back to the channel. As you can see, I am still in the laundry room, and it is late at night, and I'm really not feeling well today, so I'm really hoping I'll be able to get through this video in one piece. I've had like some kind of upper respiratory thing for like the past couple weeks. It's not COVID. It's just something I got from my kids. We've all kind of had it. So it is what it is, but I'm very excited about this video. This is a video that I'm doing in collaboration with what is known as the Asian Cinema Circle, which is a bunch of other YouTube channels that are all focused on Asian cinema. And so we kind of chat about things that we like, and we talk about movies, and we landed on this topic of 5 favorite martial arts scenes, fight scenes, I guess I should say, from films. And so I'm limiting mine to Hong Kong cinema, since this is a Hong Kong cinema channel. I think that others will also be doing that. I'm like, my hood is like driving me nuts right now. I apologize and I'm futzing with it, but I'm not totally sure if everyone is doing just Hong Kong, but that is my focus. And so shout out to all those other amazing channels. I will put links in the description of this video to all those other channels, so you can go and check them out, subscribe, and check out their lists and all that fun stuff. So it's my top 5 Hong Kong martial arts fight scenes. Now, I have to add a little caveat here, which is that none of these are like straight up martial arts scenes. And the reason for that is because I did think kind of hard about like, how do I want to do this video? Do I want to do like straight ahead proper martial arts scenes, or do I just want to pick the first ones that come to me that are my favorites without any kind of preconceived notions of what should go on the list? And I did the latter, and it turned out that none of them are really straight ahead martial arts fight scenes. The reason being, my favorite type of fight scene is that classic Jackie Chan, and then also like Sammo Hung, Yuen Biao, Yuen Wah, Corey Yuen, like that whole school, Michelle Yeoh, Cynthia Rothrock has been in some of these films where they combine acrobatics, stunts, and martial arts into like a big kind of spectacle scene. And that's really what I love the most. That's what drew me to these films, and that's what I still like the best. And so that's really, I would say 4 out of 5 of these scenes are those kind of combo martial arts, stunts, and acrobatics. So to get into the list, at number 5, my top 5 martial arts scenes, fight scenes. I guess it's really fight scenes is the video. I don't know why I keep saying martial arts, but it's really fight. But we excluded gunfighting. Maybe that's why I'm saying that, because it's like that's a whole other, if you're getting into John Woo, it's like a whole other different thing, right? At number 5 on my list of my 5 favorite fight scenes from Hong Kong cinema, I have Millionaire Express, Hell to the Yes, Dick Y versus Yuen Biao. If you've heard me talk about Millionaire Express before, you know that fight between the two of them at the end of the movie is one of my all-time favorite fight scenes. It's amazing. The ability on display. Dick Y is one of my favorites. He's probably my favorite villain actor in Hong Kong cinema, and Yuen Biao is just amazing to watch. And the two of them fighting each other at the height of their abilities, their strength, their speed, their power, their flexibility. I mean, Yuen Biao literally rolls up the freaking banister of a staircase. Like, it's to me, that is like the pinnacle of amazing on-screen fighting. In terms of, there really is only like one kind of stunt / acrobatic thing in that scene, which is where Yuen Biao rolls up the staircase. Otherwise, it really kind of is straight ahead fighting. And it's so fast, it's so clean, it's so powerful, it's great filmmaking, it's great fighting. To see those two legends going head to head like that, it doesn't get much better than that, and I absolutely love it. So that is number 5 on my list of my favorite fight scenes in Hong Kong cinema. And number 4 on my list of my favorite fight scenes in Hong Kong cinema, this is really more of a sequence than a scene. It's Police Story, and it's the mall fight. And there's like so many different fights within this fight. I'm excluding the pole slide, obviously, because that's just like a big stunt, really. And I'm talking about the glass breaking, it's just such an amazing and iconic scene. Jackie fights so many people. He fights them in so many different ways. There's all like the stunts with the kicking the people down the escalator and all the glass breaking everywhere. And the thing that really puts this, it's such a classic, iconic, I can't stress that enough, because it really is an iconic scene. It's the cover of the Criterion Collection Police Story 1 and 2 like release, right? Is like from that scene. It's a scene that everybody knows, that everybody talks about. And it was so important and groundbreaking in Jackie's career, and really pointed the way forward for where he would be going with his films and stuff like that. But the thing to me that really pushes it over the edge is the motorcycle. They are riding a motorcycle through a mall, in a fight scene through glass. Like, it's just amazing. And how many movies since Police Story came out have incorporated motorcycles into martial arts sequences? Like, even as recently as the John Wick 3, right, has fighting on motorcycle. And obviously it's very, very different. But I would argue, and I don't know the whole history of motorcycle fighting scenes, and I know that, there's that whole, like, biker gang genre of, like, grindhouse films and stuff like that were predated Police Story by, like, 20 years or whatever. But 15, whatever. I was in, like, the late 60s, I think, early 70s. But I think that Police Story really, I think you could see so many films that use motorcycles in fight scenes that are very clearly growing straight out of the influence of Police Story. And that to me really takes it over the edge, just makes it like a stone cold classic scene. If it's not just the breaking glass, it's not just the amazing choreography, it's not just the stunts that are mixed in there, it's not just how famous that scene is and how impactful it's been. There's a freaking motorcycle and they're driving it through glass in the... Anyway, I'm going to stop now. At number 3 on my list of my 5 favorite fight scenes in Hong Kong cinema, I have Dragons Forever, the ending. It's Yuen Biao again. The whole end of that movie is just like a mess of all these fight scenes, right? It's not messy, but I mean, like, in a good way. It's just like it's just like fight scene, and like everyone is getting in on all this fighting, and there's so many different people fighting each other. But there's a section of that fight, Yuen Biao doing the acrobatics on those banisters, those railings. I guess they're more like railings, right? On the catwalk, where he's like flipping sideways and flipping backwards, and he jumps through the hole in the window. And then at that sequence ends with the fight with him and Billy Chow, which is an amazing fight. So really, I'm kind of saying the Billy Chow Yuen Biao fight in Dragons Forever, but I'm incorporating that his acrobatics are what blow my mind the most in that whole final section. Even though you got like the rematch of Jackie versus Benny Urquidez and all the other stuff that's happening in that sequence, it's what Yuen Biao is doing, the acrobatics, and the fact that it culminates with that awesome fight with Billy Chow. It's like perfect. For a long time, that was like if people would ask like, what's your favorite like Jackie fight stunt scene in like a Jackie movie, I would point to that. Like for years, that was like the pinnacle of it for me, and I was obsessed with it. And it's just, rewatching it, getting ready to make this video, it's just like the stuff that Yuen Biao could do, it's just like astounding. That guy is incredible, and I just think that's such a fantastic sequence. Again, as with Millionaire Express, it's just shots. I mean, that is true of all the scenes on this list, but the shooting is just so clean. The shooting, the editing, it's so crisp, it's so clear, it's so clean. Like Sammo, Corey Yuen, Jackie, like they just really knew what they were doing, and they did it so well. So that was number 3. So at number 2, and the top 2 might be kind of weird, I don't know, they make sense to me, but people might be surprised by what I picked. At number 2 on my list of my 5 favorite Hong Kong movie fight scenes, Police Story 2. This always surprises, well, at this point I don't think it surprises people because people know me by now, but I think a lot of people are kind of shocked to hear me talk about Police Story 2 so glowingly because I love it so much. The restaurant fight where Jackie goes in and confronts the guy and gets into a fight in the restaurant with all of his like henchmen. That to me is like if someone were to say, what is like in not in terms of the stunts, but in terms of Jackie Chan's fight scenes, what is it that makes him so great and unique and interesting? Give me like a little clip that I can watch to get it. I would point them at that. It's got the objects in the room being used as part of the fight. It's got the just like hard-hitting impact, because we tend to, like, when we talk about Jackie, we talk about the Buster Keaton influence, and we talk about the cleanness of the editing and the shooting, and we talk about the stunts, and we talk about the way that he incorporates objects in the room into his fight scenes. But I find that something that kind of gets lost in discussions of Jackie is at his height as a filmmaker and as a performer, how hard the hits land. And I don't know if they're probably not actually beating the living shit out of each other. I know they did like actually hit people and stuff like that, but like the way that the movies are shot, the way that they use like breaking glass, breaking tables, breaking like plates in this scene, and like it sells the impact of the hit so well. And actually on the Armor of God Blu-ray from 88 Films, there's an interview with Jackie where he talks about how selling the impact is more important than selling the hit, because people will believe the hit if they believe the impact. And this scene sells that so well to me. People are being thrown through all these different things. And again, it's such a short scene, but it covers all the things that I think that Jackie does so well in just that short little amount of time. I think it's fantastic. I love it. It's Police Story 2. It's that little restaurant fight, cafe, restaurant, whatever you want to call that thing. Now, I have 3 honorable mentions before I get to number 1. At number 1 on my honorable mentions, I have Righting Wrongs, the parking garage scene. So the reason I left this off is that ultimately I decided it's really more of a stunt scene than a fight scene. I almost put this at number 5 instead of the Millionaire Express scene, even though I love that scene so much. But like the way the cars are driving around, the way that UMB is jumping over the cars, like there is the fight with the guys with the baseball bats and like the kicking through the car. There's amazing fighting, but I think that my overall feeling about that scene is it's kind of more of a stunt acrobatic scene than a fight scene. It felt a little bit like cheating, like I was trying to kind of shoehorn it in there when it didn't quite fit. So my second honorable mention is actually something that I left off for the same reason. It's Miracles, also known as Mr. Canton and Lady Rose, and the Canton Godfather, I think is another title for that film. And it's the rope factory sequence, which is just mind-blowing and incredible. But that sequence really is... I rewatched it a couple days ago, like getting ready to make this video, and it's astounding. And it does have fights within it. But to me, what's really astounding about the scene is the stunt work. It's not the fighting as much. And so I felt like I was trying to kind of shoehorn something in there. And then my third honorable mention, Project A2, The Axe Gang. That section in the restaurant, cafe, whatever it is, where Jackie and the guy are handcuffed to each other and they're throwing axes at them and they're trying to catch them. And I'm just like, that's such classic Jackie. It's such amazing physical comedy. It's such a great idea. And there's so much danger and humor to it. I just think it's great. But the reason I left it off, honestly, is it's really short. Like if you take that one section where they're chained to each other and people are throwing axes at them and all that stuff, that whole sequence is a couple minutes. But if you take just that one section, it's like a minute or 45 seconds or something. It just felt like so short to me that it kind of felt a little bit like I was... I don't know, like for whatever reason, the brevity of that scene is the reason that I was like, oh, I'll kind of give the shine to these other ones. So, number 1 on my list of my 5 favorite Hong Kong movie fight scenes. I rewatched the scene today. I've been rewatching it a lot since I decided to make this list. It keeps crawling up the list. Like it was number 4 for a while, and then it was number 3. And then even today, I was like, it's number 2. And then I watched it again and I was like, no, it's got to be number 1. It's got to be, because to me, this scene is the blueprint for Jackie Chan. So you know I'm a huge Jackie Chan fan. Obviously, this is all Jackie Chan stuff, and I apologize if you don't like Jackie Chan or if you're more into Shapes films and stuff like that, but this is like my personal list, not me objectively trying to make a greatest list, right? It's got to be Jackie. This scene to me is everything. Like, everything grew out of it. It's Project A. It's the tavern brawl. Jackie was building his personal filmmaking, fighting, stunt, comedy style in obviously Snake and Eagle Shadow and Drunken Master, which he did not direct, in Fearless Hyena, which he did direct, Dragon Lord, and then before Dragon Lord, The Young Master. But Project A to me is really like, that's where he arrives as like ultimate Jackie Chan modern. Obviously it's a bit of a period piece movie because it's not set in contemporary Hong Kong, but it's like he's taking it out of the mythical past, the ancient past. He's making it more about relatable everyday characters. It's really like the cement is hardening on who Jackie Chan is. And that scene, that tavern brawl, which comes pretty early in the movie, I think it's in the first 20 minutes, it's just like the incredible acrobatics and one-on-one fighting of him versus Yuen Biu, the chaos of all of the people fighting around them, the stunt work that he and Yuen Biu are doing, and the fact that he's tracking a whole bunch of characters in that scene who all have their own little dramas. There's like physical comedy routines, there's like slapstick, there's all this silliness going on, but serious threat within the fight. And all of it for me just lands so well. And it's not, you know, the fastest fight Jackie ever did. It's not the technically most perfect, but it's got that raggedy, like handmade, you can tell that they were just so excited to do it, and they're so talented, and they have such a vision, and it just has this feel of magic in it. It's like lightning in a bottle. I've said that about A Better Tomorrow before on this channel. Like, it really feels like something special is happening in that scene, and something amazing is going to come out of it, and we know that that did in fact happen. So it is the tavern brawl, if you want to call it that. That's what I've been calling it as I speak to myself about this. And as I said, I'm not feeling well. I'm sorry, I got some kind of respiratory thing. So that's it. That's number 1 on my list of my 5 favorite Hong Kong movie fight scenes. I do apologize. This video feels really raggedy to me. Like I said, it's really late at night. I'm super tired. I'm really not feeling well, but I wanted to get this video done, and I am really excited about this subject matter, and I'm very excited to hand this video over to the audience. I hope that you enjoy it. I want you to give me your lists. In the comments, give me your top 5. Let me know what are your favorites. I am really curious to hear, especially because I'm getting to really know people in the comments and like what kind of films they like and what kind of films they don't like. I'd be really curious to see like where people land on their favorite fight scenes. So my name is Will. It's Hong Kong Cinema Appreciation Society. I thank you so much for watching. I did this in one of my videos, and Charles, you know, who's been like a great friend to the channel over the years, he really responded to it. It's like, I really liked that when you did that thing. So I picked that up. If you want to know, you want some personal trivia from me, I used to go to a Buddhist temple every week in Los Angeles, a Japanese Buddhist temple, Jodo Shinshu. And so you do that, you know, Nama Amida Buddha, Namanda, 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 that thing. So that's kind of where I picked up that gesture. And obviously with kids, it's like really hard to get out of the house and do stuff like that anymore. But so there you go. So my name is Will. It's Hong Kong Cinema Appreciation Society. I thank you so much for watching. Check out all of the other videos from the other members of the Asian Cinema Circle. Thanks for persevering with me on this kind of scatterbrain video, and we'll see you next time.